Hi, welcome to another nail polish tutorial on Polished. I know this one comes pretty close to the one I've just done, but a friend of mine wanted to know how I did my Starry Night nails, so I figured I would do a tutorial on it. This one uses a lot of work with a paintbrush, which might be kind of intimidating to some, but it's really not as hard as it seems. Okay, the first thing you're going to need is obviously a paintbrush. Same one I used as last time. I still haven't gotten a new one. And you'll just need to use some nail polish remover in between colors to remove the polish from your brush. And there's an array of 5 different colors I'm using, and they're listed in the description of the design. The first thing you want to do is start out with the plain blue nail like this. It's a dark blue. I'm using all flat colors for this because I want it to look like a painting, and most artists don't use glittery paint, I'm assuming. At least Van Gogh didn't, and that's who painted this iconic, famous painting. What we're going to do is start out with the base of what the colors are going to be, which is white, which might seem strange since it doesn't look very white in the painting, but in order for your colors to show up, you'll need a white base. And what you do then is I'm going to do a star, a couple stars, and some swirls. So at the bottom, we're going to paint some swirls. And the best thing about this that I've found is because the way that Van Gogh painted, you don't have to worry about it looking like perfect. Which is why you're allowed to have wide brush strokes like this. Doesn't look super pretty right now, but it'll look a lot better once we start layering more colors. And I'll do another little bit of a swirl here. Each one of my nails in this design is different, so don't be afraid to do something different for each one. Okay, and now I'm going to paint some circles up here, and they will be stars. It wouldn't be Starry Night without stars, right? It's actually, with this, I find that the more streaky and strokey your brush strokes look, the more realistic it's going to look for the painting. Alright, then the next step we're going to do is add a light blue on top of the swirls, and do something with the light blue on your entire nail just to give the blue background a little bit of dimension and to make it look more like a painting. Again, for this you don't have to wait for it to be super dry like you do in other designs, because if it is a little bit damp, it'll just blend better with the other colors. So we have a light blue here, and we're just going to paint that over the white. And it's kind of subtle, but it does look different than white, as you can see, and creates the look of the windstream stuff that's in the painting. Okay, now what you do after that you paint over your swirls with the blue is you load up some blue on your brush. Don't have it be super wet, and then over your nail just start brushing strokes like this, being careful not to get it in the stars. If you do a little bit, it's not that big of a deal. Okay, and if you don't get every surface of dark blue, don't worry about that either. It's a little bit hard to see, but it does give a little bit of texture, as you can see, and the color will be amplified when you put a top coat on, because top coats always do that. Okay, and we will be using that blue again later. Dropped a nail polish bottle, a little bit overzealous about Starry Night, I think. Alright, now we're going to take a light yellow, and this is going to go over the white that we painted for the stars. Again, leaving blue showing through is perfectly alright. That is actually the look we're going for. Alright. And then, directly after that, you will put a darker, brighter yellow in the center, not covering the entire thing. I'll show you in just 1 second. But just in the center, because it's a star, and we're kind of trying to create a fading look to the star. Kind of looks like an egg. But yeah, it'll blend better when you put the top coat on. Alright, now, like I said, we're going to use this blue, the light blue again. If you're on your palette, if it's skinned over, just try to wake it up a little bit by swishing your brush around, or get a new drop. Doesn't really matter. You don't need a lot of paint on the brush for this, but just go around the edge of your star. I need a little more on there than I have. To help it blend into the blue a little more, and it kind of gives it this green look that if you look at the painting, it also kind of has. Don't cover up too much of the light yellow. But really, and if you make a little mistake, it's going to be easy to fix. Plus, it'll just kind of add to the character of the nail. Okay. So, we're almost done. We're almost done. You could stop right here if you wanted to. And I almost did stop right here, but when I looked at the painting a little more, I noticed there was some depth added with black in the strokes. So I'm going to add a little black, and you kind of have to be sparing with this, and I wasn't sure if it was going to work, and I didn't like how it looked on some of my nails, to be honest, but I think it does add depth if applied very sparingly. And you want your brush to load black onto it like you normally would if you're going to paint, but then wipe almost all of it off. In like ceramics, I used to do a lot of ceramics, this was dry brushing, where you load the paint up on a brush, a bristly brush, wipe it off, and then paint it on top to kind of gives it a different look. It's not exactly going to be stark black, but it will have some depth to it. So what you do then is you add it very sparingly. I'm going to add it between the stars. You make sure you really get a lot of it off there. You're going to have a big black glob in the middle of your nail. Also, like I said, the top coat you use will amplify the color, so this black will appear darker once you put a top coat on. But if you use it sparingly like I am, it won't be too big of a deal. And also you can, if you work fast, you can wipe the brush off. Don't put it in nail polish remover, just wipe it off and kind of dab it around like so. And again, if you don't like how that looks, go over it with some more dark blue or some light blue to try and blend it more. But I think it looks good. And that is basically how you do, well, how you would do one nail in a Starry nail manicure. You wouldn't have to do this on every single nail. Like if you look at mine, I'm going to move this to the side. I've got stars on this finger, pardon the chipping. I was doing lots of hard work. I put the moon on this finger, and then this one just has streams. So they're all different, but they all kind of go together because they're all based on the painting. And there you have it. Starry Night nails. Pretty simple, not as difficult as one may think. Give it a try. I'm sure any other type of impressionist kind of painting would work well for this. I'm not sure if you would want to paint people on your nails. It might be kind of difficult. But this is a simple way to do an art-inspired kind of nail. Thanks.